everybody, I hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to show you how to become a weather reporter by making one of your own rain gauges and being able to measure rain using just a few materials that you have around the house. A rain gauge is a device that can measure how much rain has fallen, and you'll be able to make your own and measure in inches or centimeters how much rain we've been getting with all of these April showers. The items you'll need are a clear plastic water bottle, scissors, some pebbles to weigh down the water bottle so that it doesn't blow away in the wind, some water, a ruler, a permanent marker, and some clear tape. The first thing that you will need to do, and you may need to ask an adult for help to make sure that you can do this safely and carefully, is cut off the top of the water bottle that has the curved edge and just cut it straight across where it starts to become a straight cylinder. My water bottle is pretty thin and squishy, so I think that I can squish it a little bit and then cut a little hole and then cut the rest of it from there. But if you are using a 2-liter bottle or something that's harder for you to cut, make sure that you're asking an adult for help. Now I have the top of my water bottle separate from the bottom of my water bottle, and I'm going to use this part as a funnel to help collect the rain into the bottom of the water bottle. So I took the cap off so that the rain can come through the funnel and into the bottle. I'm going to set this top aside while we do the rest of the steps. So what we're going to use the pebbles for is just as a weight to hold this down on the ground so it doesn't blow away. So I am going to take some of the rocks that I have and just place them in the bottom of my bottle. So now I have some pebbles in there, so it should be a little bit heavier, but the pebbles shouldn't come up too high because we want some room to collect the rain. Now what we're going to use the water for is to cover up the pebbles just to where the top of them is. We don't want to go much higher than that with our water. The reason we want to fill with a little bit of water just to where the top of the pebbles is so that when new rain falls into the rain gauge, then we'll be able to tell where the rain started from a smooth starting point rather than having to measure from the bottom and subtract out where the pebbles were. So I'm going to fill mine with just a little bit of water. So now the water is just covering the tip top of the tallest pebble. What we need to do now is start marking the measurements so that we can measure how much rain falls in. You can decide whether you want to measure your rain in inches. So we would use the big side where the inches are 1, 2, 3. Or we can flip it over and you can do centimeters instead. And you would measure where the centimeters start with the 1, and they're much smaller. So it would be 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters. Or you could even do both and maybe do inches on one side and centimeters on the other side. I think I'm going to do both. I'm going to make sure that my ruler is flipped over with the inches at the bottom, the number 1, and I'm going to make sure that the bottom of my ruler is lined up with the top of the line of water that I already put in my bottle. Okay, so now you can see that I have my inches marked. I have a 1, a 2, and a 3. And now I'm going to do a centimeter side. So I'm going to flip my ruler over, make sure that the 1 centimeter is at the bottom, and I'm going to measure out and make a mark at the 1, 2, 3, and so on. I want to remember that I'm starting from the top of the water. Alrighty, and now my centimeter side is done, starting with a 1 just above the water and then going all the way up to 8, and you can see the difference between my centimeter side and my inches side. So that way I could even tell what my inches convert to in centimeters when I'm looking at how much rain has fallen. All I have to do now is add in the funnel part into the top of my bottle and tape it into place. Now my rain gauge is ready to go. So let's see how it would test out if some rain fell. We're going to use my leftover water as some imaginary rain. All right, so if we had a big storm, I would be able to tell you that we have about 4 centimeters of rain that I caught in my rain gauge, and that would equal almost 2 whole inches of rain. Now what you can do with your rain gauge is get a notebook going where you can record the date and how much rain fell that day, and that way at the end of a rainy week or a rainy month you would be able to report back what the grand total was. Just remember that after each rainfall, you'll want to pour out the rain that you collected and then make sure that you restart with the water covering just above the pebbles on the bottom. That way you'll always have a 0 mark to start you off, and you'll be able to tell when it actually hits 1 centimeter again. Have fun becoming a weather reporter and show us the rain gauge that you make.